Welcome in to the Spence and Serge show, and we are back, and it is episode 2. The college football playoff is completely set. And we have so much to break down. We're going to talk about Notre Dame. We're going to talk about those Irish tears. We're going to talk about it all, Notre Dame. I'm here with Serge, the main man. Coach Serge, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for having me on again. Thanks for always tuning into our show every single week. Right now, we're in pretty much a unprecedented scenario, right? Would you say? I don't think I've ever heard of this ever happening before.
With Notre Dame football?
Yeah.
We're going to Notre Dame. We're doing that this segment. And Notre Dame, they are not playing in a bowl game. You have their athletic director that is absolutely going on every single show to complain. Do they have a gripe?
I mean, in a way, they kind of do with the whole power struggle thing. Like, I get it. They're a big brand. They, do you remember the comment that he made the other day? He said, like, when we go play basketball, like, I don't know why he's mentioning basketball when it comes to football, but he goes, when we go to play basketball game or whatever against an ACC teams are selling out, like 20%? And then he said, when Notre Dame plays an ACC team, they're selling out 90%. I mean, I don't even think that that's just Notre Dame particularly. I think it's just
trashing basketball.
That's what I mean. But I don't even mean Notre Dame. I think that that's him biased by his own team, because just any ranked team versus any ranked team, it doesn't matter what conference you're in, it's going to have ratings. It's going to get people to come show up to the game. And anybody that's a diehard fan of like colleges, that's why I love college, and that's why we do this show primarily with college, because it's not just like the run-of-the-mill fan that's just walking down the street tuning into a game. Like, you have alumni, you got boosters, you got families built into these teams. Like, right now, I'm a Texas homer. My fiance is a Notre Dame fan, and I'm not even kidding you. I'm going to get salad or like getting something out of the fridge, and she goes like, "You sure you're not going to get left out again? Like, you're not going to leave that ingredient again?" And I'm like, "Who are you to talk crap to me?"
Left out about Texas?
Yeah,
she's still mocking you about Texas being left out?
Yeah, but then
fiance?
But she's been giving me that like the whole week going into like this whole college football committee, because the writing was on the wall, 9-3 for Texas. Like, sure, it was a long shot. I believe that the precedent was set with the FSU thing. I'm not here to judge. I mean, for God's sake, we can get into the playoff picture later, but it doesn't make sense how they classify these teams. But then you have Notre Dame, like, you play a tough game early in the season, the Aggies, you lose, honestly, holding on the last play, but you lose.
And then Tyler Buckner, too.
Yeah.
And like a missed field goal opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And then Miami, they lost to Miami. And the head-to-head, the more I thought about it, Notre Dame played really good football, but Miami, they ended the year, they beat Pittsburgh also. They beat Virginia Tech badly, too. So I think that 10-2 and 10-2, like, it was close enough where that's where it got decided. But the process is where I get Notre Dame being upset, because the process was talking about how Notre Dame was ahead of Miami the entire time, and then both of them didn't play, and Miami leapfrogged them. Because it's BS that they couldn't look at the two teams before.
Yeah.
But would you have Notre Dame over Miami, or do you think it's a tough call?
I mean, if it's over Miami, I honestly probably wouldn't have either one of those two teams in
the playoff.
Granted, either one of those teams could strike fire, but like their body of work, Notre Dame didn't beat anybody good on their schedule pretty much. No. Like the two best teams that they played lost to, and then you look at Miami, and Miami didn't beat anybody good in their playoff.
It is unfortunate for Notre Dame. I kind of like that they're independent. I like that they're different, and I like that they're hated. So I like keeping Notre Dame over there. I think it's interesting for like debate and the sport. It's unfortunate that the best two games on their schedule, I mean, USC turned out to not be great, and then Stanford and these other ACCs are just jokes. I mean, I think they played Syracuse. They also played Louisville, I think. So for Notre Dame, they just don't have these great non-cons right now.
No, they don't.
Or they don't have any of these great matchups.
Yeah, no, they don't. But the reason why I don't agree with Notre Dame being left out over Miami is because last year you kind of rewarded a Notre Dame team that ended up playing for the national title by losing to Northern Illinois. Like, how do you overlook such a bad loss like that, and then they ran the table, go to the national championship?
It was one loss.
Sure, but what were we talking about in terms of why this team should get in or why this team should not get in. Like maybe Notre Dame should have played a different opponent. We don't know. Like the crystal ball isn't
They did
there.
fail early in the year, and I mean, we're going to talk about Texas, and a huge part of this episode will be about early season matchups.
Yeah.
So Notre Dame, I do feel for them because they were perfect the rest of the way. But after they lost, it was out of their hands. But guess what? This isn't a 20-team playoff. So you lose, you lose. In the old system, Notre Dame would have completely been out of the system immediately.
Yeah, right. I'll touch on it a little bit more when we get into like the actual playoff scenarios, but there's just some teams that just shouldn't have been into this playoff. I think anybody can agree with it. You have two teams that already played each other and were in the regular season.
Yeah.
And it was a blowout, and both teams don't have their coaches, although Sumrall is... Did you see this tweet that he posted out today? He's got half jersey, one side Gator, one side Tulane.
It was like Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
So I am upset about the bowl game, okay? I really am. And I know that I sound old or like a boomer in this take, but these are seniors, last chance to go out and play. Your fans get to go to Florida and play like a really good BYU team. Like, just go out and play the game of football. I really believe that the fact that it's like called the Pop-Tart Bowl, instead of it being called like the Allegiance Cup or something really badass.
Yeah, I think
I kind of understand that when you win and you're eating Pop-Tarts, how it kind of looks like really just Bush League.
I mean,
so I think that as silly as it sounds, the name of it being Pop-Tarts like just made them say F this crap, where if it was like the cup of legends of champions, it would like look more prestigious.
Yeah, who knows? But I think that Notre Dame just basically tried to pull, like, it's funny because we thought that we'd be talking about Texas doing this, like canceling out of conference games because, you know, the precedent is being set basically by like omitting a team like Texas. You're telling them that if you were 10-2, you'd be getting in this playoff, right? Because would you or would you not have them over Miami? They have the best wins in the country.
Yeah,
it's between them and Miami. I can't see. They played a harder schedule. They played better in their harder schedules. Well, the games that they lost, like the Florida game,
but here's the problem: Miami did beat Florida.
Okay, but then you have Alabama with 3 losses. Sure, they played for a conference championship, but if they're a 2-loss team, Texas, where Alabama's not going to be.
Because I like cutting off the conference championships. I don't care if you get beat 90.
I don't agree. I don't care if you lose your conference championship either. Like Alabama, I think should have still been in. Like I'm glad that they let them in, but you got to set a tone. Like, do conference championships matter or not? Because you have teams on the outside like Ole Miss they didn't even have a chance for a conference championship. They're in. You have teams like Miami. I mean, you saw who won the ACC. That was embarrassing.
Duke!
It's embarrassing.
The Dukies, baby! Dukies created March Madness in December. How did this happen? I didn't see it, did you?
Like, unreal.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Virginia was a fraud.
They had 5 losses, and that's so embarrassing if you're Virginia. You have a great chance to win your first conference championship.
Right, but like Mario Cristobal.
You can't beat Manny Diaz.
No, you can't. And the shame of some of these coaches, like, how do you have no shame? Mario Cristobal sitting out there making it a race between him and Notre Dame. Like, did you see what the ACC network did that whole week? The ACC network, knowing that it's not their conference champion, like, at least boast for your conference champion. This conference championship does not even matter anymore. Duke wins. You don't even give them any screen time, but you replay.
You're playing a game in every state. The ACC network's based in like California. Is it based in Texas?
Right.
I mean, the ACC's a freaking joke.
Come on, yeah.
You have Stanford, you have Cal. That's why I don't want Notre Dame joining that. There's a serious chance Notre Dame joins the Big Ten. I just think it's kind of pathetic. You lost 2 games. Like, go out there and play in the bowl game and be above this stuff. And guess what? There's going to be a lot of teams that get eliminated in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, and Notre Dame.
So seriously, have some pride in yourself and in your program and in your players and say F the world and F college football.
Right. Honestly, like, they should have just played their bowl game, but I understand it from an administration perspective. Like, they have a big brand and they don't want them to get extra views, but also, like, Notre Dame.
Come on.
No, I
Guess
agree.
what channel the playoffs is on?
Yeah,
ESPN,
Disney.
Walt Disney.
Right here. That's why I'm wearing the Disney stuff also. Disney's been in the news for a lot of stuff going on right now with the whole Eagles charade that they had with that whole
in the weeds.
Yeah, in the weeds. But Notre Dame with that whole scenario that they had, I get it. You don't want to give publicity or whatever, but Notre Dame themselves as a university, you got to understand you are still making revenue from it anyway. Even $1 is better than none. Did you see Marcus Freeman, his post today? He's in Cancun. He posted a picture of himself going outside of the window of the plane. Peace out, guys. I'm joining LeBron in Cancun. This is ridiculous.
Doesn't care.
No,
and they're not developing their players anyway.
No, they're not.
I hope they get run next year, maybe.
I mean, they got a good recruiting class, so it is what it is. But I don't know. I can't imagine as a player to stand for that. I can't be a guy that's committed. Let's say I'm a 5-star, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going. I would have been going to this bowl game to visit.
And practicing. I think the freshmen can practice. Can they practice? I don't think they can play.
No.
But I think that they can practice.
Yeah, they can. I mean, they're very lenient about a lot of the things that these guys can do.
15 days of practice. So that's Notre Dame. I think we both agree that just for the fans and everybody, bowl games can still be really awesome. And I want bowl games to matter. I'm still going to watch them and analyze them. And it's kind of like an F the haters move because I'm tired of people quitting on these bowl games.
Yeah, I am too. I really thought that it would have been Texas in this situation, given that whole spiel that Sark.
But Arch needs, and they did lose those games.
Well, that's the thing though. Because of these bowl games, I'm actually pretty nervous.
We're going to talk about the Texas Longhorns. All right, Serge, your team, your squad, they beat A&M to finish the season. I still feel all right about Texas. I feel all right about them getting some wide receiver talent. I think they need wide receiver talent. They let go of the running backs coach today. I guess Baxter's hitting the portal as well. What do you think they need on the offensive side of the ball to take them from really good team to into the playoffs safely next year?
Unfortunately, they need in the trenches. They need offensive line because that offensive line looked awful against Georgia. I don't know how it was so good.
Kyle Flood.
Yeah, but did you see the guy who won SEC Defensive Player of the Year? Or for the year, had the exact same amount of sacks as Colin Simmons with less tackles, less forced fumbles, and was a 0 on the scoreboard.
Can I guess? Is it an Alabama? Is it an Alabama
A&M
player? It's an A&M player. Okay. I might not be sure who it is. But A&M I know has a salty
Moral of the story
defense.
is Simmons should have probably been the Defensive Player of the Year. We can talk about that all day, about how he got snubbed. But I think that they need offensive line. Unfortunately, all their 5-stars, all their recruits are skill position players. They have the number 1 wide receiver in the country coming in. They have the number 1 running back in the country coming in. There's just so many names that you have to worry about.
That's like a Tom Herman recruiting class where everybody be like, Texas is top 5, but they didn't have the trenches.
No,
and I know that Kelvin Banks was a big-time player. Your center is a big-time player that went to the league, I believe, for a couple of years. Yeah, and then you had Gunnar Helm. He's a decent recruit. And D lineman, they're doing a decent job.
Oh yeah, now, Justice Terry. Did you see what he did against A&M? I don't get how he's a rotational piece. He was a 5-star, the number 1 ranked, I believe, defensive lineman in the country.
And he's a Georgia guy now.
Yeah, he's from Georgia. Yeah, he's from the state of Georgia. Yeah, but that dude was built in high school. He was ready for the league. I'm going to actually think of the guy that Dan Lanning did the swimming pool video with because he's also coming to Texas. I just sent you that the other day.
Yeah. I remember. I love that guy's tape. I think he's a Texas guy.
Yeah, he is.
5-star recruit, Wesley.
Yep.
Richard Wesley.
Mm-hmm.
Richie. So I think Texas, guess what? If you're a booster, next year with Arch Manning, like I know we called him a Heisman guy last year. I think, could it be a Joe Burrow jump? Now that's crazy to say. That's like comparing someone to a possible god. Because Joe Burrow's had one of the greatest seasons of college football of all time. But I still think Arch, in this system, and I know that we got Cade Klubnik wrong and Drew Aller, but Arch seems to be heating up, and I loved how he had those big moments against A&M, how he went on the road to Georgia. This guy's only played 1 year of football. He theoretically could play 2 more years of football in college.
Technically, yeah, because he did redshirt. But
And just make a boatload of cash.
Yeah, he could. I thought that it was really amazing that he didn't take NIL until he became announced a starter in the offseason, which commend him. I can't speak more highly of the head that he's got on his shoulders, but also that Joe Burrow team, that was arguably one of the best college football rosters. And maybe Arch needs one of those type of things to look good, because even Joe Burrow, you saw what happened this year with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco comes in, he's putting up Joe Burrow numbers with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
I guess. I think that either Chase or Jefferson was a very low star recruit, though.
They were.
And he did kind of make Thaddeus Moss really look great. Yeah. Clyde Edwards in the league hasn't been what Clyde was at LSU.
Season.
Joe Brady was the coordinator of the Carolina Panthers, and he did do really well at LSU. So Joe Burrow was kind of like a machine back there. Some people hate Arch Manning because he comes from a lot of money, so they'll never give him credit. And I'm not one of those guys to do that.
I'm not either.
Whatsoever.
I'm actually the opposite. I believe that it's almost too big to fail type thing. You're a Manning. They have the Manning Academy. All that. Who's getting more help in terms of to be a quarterback than Arch Manning is?
Well, people are jealous, though. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, for sure.
And when he takes a paycheck, he's like, oh, well, it comes from a wealthy family. So you have that against you. Where the rags to riches story sells more.
But we now know from the stories of Lendell White, all these other people that have been on podcasts that these guys were getting paid forever. It was just under Ed Orgeron,
Coach O. I love those stories.
I love that
with Coach O.
I love this boys.
USC Wild Boys. So we got Texas. Listen. To wrap this up about Texas, I don't think you should play any competitive games at the beginning of the year.
I don't think so.
Because you're going to 9 games, and as a fan, are you going to miss those early season, regular season slugfests? Serge?
I mean, yeah, you are in terms of personally, but if you're a fan of that team, no, because you want your team, just like Sark said, we want the best possible record at the end of the year. We are not worried about the fireworks and everything. For years, Texas was beating crappy teams, making it far in the Big 12, not winning the title. So, people will get over these.
Unpopular opinion. I am not going to miss that many games mattering in August, actually.
I mean, I will, because the only reason I tune in on Saturday or Sunday, I don't care. I could watch even the worst games because I'm just a football junkie. But the only reason why I watch is I want to see how the chess matches go. I want to see how does a guy, 5-star, 4-star, whatever it is, that shit, sorry for my language, but that stuff does not matter once you are on the field. It's just me versus you. Can I beat you? Can my coach out-scheme you? Can I get the job done?
But I'm here. I guess I'll argue my point.
Okay.
Tulane Ole Miss. We're seeing a rematch. Just wait. It will come.
But nobody knew that.
And you're getting judged. So look at Julian saying he was a total shell of himself in that football game. And for Notre Dame, it was dumb because look at C.J. Carr. I mean, he looked like he was scared to freaking death when he was playing Miami.
Yeah.
But they're totally different teams, so that's why you have preseason. I don't need 12 unbelievable games. The SEC kills each other 9 games, so we'll live. I think we'll live. It will kind of suck. I think that you will have the main fan sentiment because they want to see big-time non-con, but if I was a coach, I wouldn't want my best games being the first game of the season.
No, I agree, especially if you're a CJ Carr, a Julian Saint. I mean, granted, they won that game, but CJ Carr, you're rookie, freshman in college, you need time to develop.
So you
barely get any time in the spring and in the fall.
So let's put crap on and then load it up. Because I don't want to see these guys get hurt. I mean, look in the NFL, guys getting hurt all the time. Football's so physical. People just want more football all the time. And I want better football.
I agree, but also to be the
advocate,
the devil's advocate, I should say.
Yes.
There is also these players with the injuries, they're not even wearing knee pads. They are putting their shorts all the way up. You saw Quinshon Judkins last year. What are you doing, exposing your knees? And then you see how inflated and swollen your knee is, and then you have to take reps out of the game. I get it. They had 2 good running backs, but poor Poor Henderson. The amount of injuries that dude has sustained, to not be wearing knee pads, anybody, is just a disservice to all those guys that have gotten hurt.
Travion Henderson.
Yeah. Like,
I guess the reason they don't do it is a comfort thing, but it's
but is it? What's comfortable about a face mask to your knee? Like, I just don't understand that.
And they're told to go away from the strike zone.
Yeah.
They're not told to hit you in the head, so guess where they're going to hit you?
Knees low. Like,
look at Ertz. Look at Zach Ertz jumping up and getting absolutely smashed.
That same thing happened to Scatterboot. Like, but that's the other thing. That's the risk with like the over the middle type thing. You know what I mean? And that's what football is about. So
that's why Kevin Patullo runs so many hitch routes.
I don't know.
So guys don't get in.
We'll get to that, dude.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, that's what makes, like, football is supposed to be gladiators on the field. And if I'm a gladiator, I want as much protection and as many weapons or whatever I can do to make my life easier. Because if I'm taking a hit and that guy, it's going to hurt him when he hits me. It's always going to hurt you when you hit somebody, when you're standing them up, when you're...
Do human beings, do they crave contact?
I mean, if you're playing... Most people that have played football at a high level and have made it that far, like, I mean, I didn't play college football, but I played college lacrosse, and, like, I even got hurt playing men's league. Like, you crave it after a while because it's like an addiction.
You almost have to have it to be, like, successful at this level, and that's why I don't like the targeting rule, because I don't like these guys that are playing their senior years. I don't like somebody lowers their head and you get ejected for the biggest game of your life.
Yeah, I don't like that you get ejected.
BS.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Throw a penalty.
Maybe 1, 2, then you get ejected.
Two if it's awful. Yeah.
But but I still think that each one of those target calls need to be framed in did the player even have a chance to avoid that?
I'm just not a targeted fan at all.
I'm not either.
I think it should be a penalty. But again, so I believe Texas is in a decent spot. I think for Sarge, I really, as crazy as it sounds, they need to go out there and maybe win the SEC championship or make the semis next year.
Yeah, but now it's going to be even harder. That 9-game, like you said, no reason to be playing out-of-conference games when, like, for the SEC, it's case by case, team by team. Everybody, like we said, Notre Dame probably shouldn't with a new quarterback. Next year, different story. But, like, a lot of teams... Everybody should make these business decisions for yourself, and I will not shame anybody if you discredit anything.
And that's the point. And we'll see them in the playoffs because the best football is going to be played this time of the year, so people can, like, rest up and load up and get ready to rock.
But I don't even know that. I think that we're in, like, such a weird situation in terms of just, like, all sports across the landscape, basketball, you name it, youth, everywhere. Like, whatever changed. And this might be something for, like, you, the viewers at home, to, like, contemplate on. Comment down below what you believe. Something shifted, whether it's, like, the competitiveness, the talent of play, something where you don't know. You don't know. Like, Ohio State, would you tell me that last year Ohio State would have won that national championship after they lost to Michigan?
I actually did not believe. I mean, I thought they had a chance.
Right, but did you think that they were going to blow out?
No,
everybody?
I did not think that. Against Tennessee, like there was a scenario where Day got fired.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
UT was going into their house.
But that's why, Tennessee. Like, any given Sunday, really, like... Saturday for them. But any given game, like, you have a chance when that clock is 15 or 20 minutes, whatever, like, sport you're playing. Once you start that game, you have a chance until you don't.
Hold that thought exactly, because you just literally had a bridge to the next segment of this show. You are watching the Spence and Serge show. I want to talk in the next segment, guys. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about any given Saturday, any given one Saturday, and we're going to see. Is that a myth or is that real? On Spence and Serge.
It's a game of inches.
Speaking of any given Saturday, we got the Cinderella stories in this college football playoff, and guess what? I used to be one of these guys that spoke about Cinderella, and I'm not going to step on the point that I am going to make about Cinderella. But speaking of Cinderella, we have games on TNT. Do you believe in miracles? We have a game on TNT. The James Madison Dukes are heading out all the way from Harrisonburg or wherever in Virginia. They're going to Oregon, 20-point spread, and so is Tulane playing against Pete Golding and Ole Miss. What do you think about these group of 5 teams being involved in this tournament? Is it really any given Saturday?
Man, I feel like Al Pacino right here, right now. Like, I'm about to give you that speech, like, game of inches. We're going to fight for that inch.
To run through a wall?
Yeah, run through a wall. That speech was amazing. But before I continue, shout out to all my JMU people. You know who you are. I spent some good times, some Halloween parties, great times in JMU. Really, really love that place. Beautiful campus.
Did you have the Scooby-Doo Johnny Manziel outfit?
No, actually, you want to know what we were
Let's go.
I was Popeye. My buddy was the tight end.
The guns, Popeye?
No, I was just like a sailor, but I just call myself Popeye.
Yeah.
My one boy was the tight end for the Ravens at the time, Pitta. Remember him?
Dennis?
Yeah, Dennis Pitta.
Dennis.
And Joe Flacco. So random, but we dominated.
That is so
We
random.
dominated JMU. We hung out with the football team. We hung out with the hockey team.
Lax?
No lax. I don't even think they had lax at the time. This is like back when I was in college. But JMU at the time was going for a similar scenario. They had college game day that weekend when I was there, Halloween weekend. I hope nobody finds the exact date and time.
Yeah, because people now are going to comb through those files to find some kegs in the front yard. Some kegs, some beach balls.
Great times. But so before I
Halloween
get into this,
party, it is the best college day, probably St. Patrick's Day, but I think
what
Halloween.
School you go to, but JMU they have a really good Halloween
Halloween.
really good Halloween team,
Oh,
and
the
also
outfits.
this also happens to be during football, and they happen to be a good team. But
Always
that
been
year,
good at football.
Yeah, always been good. I believe that year they won the FCS championship.
Was it with our friend? Was it Sig or was Sig and Elon? Was it Coach Signetti?
It was Sig. Yeah.
Sig.
But great time. But before I keep going, I don't want to hurt any JMU fans, but let's just be realistic here. Like them and Tulane. First off, Tulane, you have 2 teams playing each other without their head coaches. Summerall is being allowed to coach in this, I believe.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Lane Kiffin is not on the other side. And then you have JMU. Great story. There is nothing wrong with JMU, but you see the shirt you're wearing right now. Do you really think they stand a chance? Do you even think they stand a chance? I don't.
Hell no.
But
no, I'm getting ready for Miami, bro. I'm getting ready for that orange.
Right. But in the season of this segment, I hate to say it, but football is the type of gladiator sport where if you just got dogs on your side of the field, the athleticism can match up. You can scheme up a ugly win. You can get that, but I just don't see it. Although JMU
it's
does
not
have
like basketball.
No, it's not like
where
basketball.
You can hit some threes, and now it's even getting harder in college basketball. And that'll be a segment for another day about these Cinderellas. But
JMU does have one of the best
Bob Chesney, by the way, is leaving to go to UCLA. You said that they have a great offensive coordinator?
No, they have one of the best offenses in the country.
Oh, yes. Do you know some of the guys on that offense, or just tell us about their scheme?
So they run like a spread. They air it out. To be honest with you, JMU they like to run and gun. They are pretty much a team that is a lot in the shotgun formation. They throw a lot, and they have good skills for their schedule, but
they spread you out.
But actually, it's funny that the committee matched this up because what's Oregon's weakness is the pass game. They don't have the best pass game, but they are much more physical than JMU. Although, I will say, I met some people at JMU where I looked at them and I was like, damn, bro, you are the body of an NFL guy, but you just play at JMU.
So you're talking about, Oregon does have a really good secondary. I mean, they have Flowers, they have some guys in the back end that are great, and then you have Mateo, and you have Blake Purchase, you have these guys, Tatum Toyota, the defensive line of Oregon, Betcher.
I mean, they have names. This
is a good defense. And then you look at Oregon on offense, Whittington and Dyer Hill, they're going to be able to pound JMU. So I think that it's going to be a real uphill climb. The point is, I used to be this guy that, I love the Cinderella story, whether it be college basketball. My favorite team was, Northern Iowa. You look at George Mason, or remember Dunk City.
Yeah, Dunk City, man. And remember the great run with Sister, what was her name?
Jean.
Yeah, Sister Jean, Loyola Chicago.
Yeah, Loyola Chicago.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of these small teams, but the more I think about it, they have to win 4 games to win the national championship.
Yeah.
I do want there to be a kick-ass group of 5 championship.
I think so too. I think that
I'm actually there. I used to be the guy that hated that wanted them to be included and wanted the David versus Goliath. Like I looked at Boise State, Oklahoma, but it isn't just one game. And now I just think to run the table as a non-power 5, it is so damn hard. Maybe unless you're just exceptional like those old Boise teams. Maybe if you're that rarely good.
Yeah, but even back then, like, we never got to see it because of the way the format was. Like, even that UCF team, 13-0, like, you can claim all you want that you had a great season, but until you play the best, and that's back to the whole scheduling thing, like, that's why I believe that we're in such a weird state right now where you just don't know what could happen in a game. Like, maybe JMU does go storm the field on them. Like, who knows? Like, we don't know.
Well, last year, let's think about the group of 5 that was in it last year. We had Penn State killing Boise. We had Indiana, Oregon, Tennessee. Wow. Oh, no, we did have Boise State, Penn State. That's what was crazy about it, was Boise State got that bye. That's why it was all kind of messed up.
It was insane.
That's why it was all messed up. But the Big 12, I believe like you got to be like USF. Like you got to beat Florida. You actually have to beat Miami. You have to run the gauntlet. Mm-hmm. And I think the teams will have the chance to do that.
I think so too.
And then we'll have a group of 5 championship if you don't get into the
I think that's what they should do, but unfortunately no one's going to be on board for that because they all waved that like, well, we need a chance. We earned it.
Do you think it's finances too?
Yeah,
Do you think that plays a huge part? And that's what the August can be used for, is these bye games with these kind of smaller schools. But you have JMU, Bob Chesney. It's an absolute powerhouse. I think it's a total uphill climb. But guess what? I think Tulane in this one scenario, you mentioned Pete Golding not having Lane Kiffin. I really think Tulane has a chance.
I think so, because Summerall's a great coach, but the talent level, like, is just such a disparity. Like, again, SEC is a world apart from these these group of 5 teams.
From the American Conference.
Yeah, it's not even close. Like, they're not even in the same, like, ballpark in terms of, like, NIL money. Like, it's actually insane. Like, don't get me wrong, there have been some great players that have transferred and, proven themselves, but they, like, that guy that transferred is now on these SEC teams. Like, we have so many different. We could go on and on naming
about
names.
Examples like even Noah Whittington, who's at Oregon, is from Western Kentucky.
Wasn't Trinidad also?
Yeah, Trinidad Chambliss. You have Diego Pavia. You even have Mendoza. A lot of these quarterbacks, a lot of these wide receiver talents.
Yeah, but they
are all from these smaller levels.
Yeah, but that was like the one guy that was the best player that was carrying that team all year, and then it's like every guy on this roster was not just a guy that could have gone there, but was like,
it would be great if there's a way that, say you develop somebody, like I'll give a random example of a quarterback like Austin Reed, who played at North Florida. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll slow it down.
No, keep going. I'm listening because I think I know where you're going with this.
I believe that if you develop these talented guys and then the bigger schools take that player, you should get money for your school for developing that player.
Ooh.
And finding that diamond in the rough.
I'm not going to lie. I really, really love that idea. But the problem, though, is...
Oh, we almost had him.
But with the NIL being a player-driven format where, like, they're trying to seek the top dollar, the players aren't going to give up. Like, sure, you can come to some agreement.
The player doesn't. In this example, the player won't lose.
No, they won't. But the school... Like, the player's deciding to leave. The school that is getting it isn't going to want to pay that. He's like, he wants me. It's like that girlfriend.
That's hilarious. They'll say, this guy isn't that good. This guy, like they'll say to the school, they'll say to the player, you actually have holes in your game. Like,
maybe. They're obviously, everybody, when it comes to money, everybody's going to nickel and dime in that. Like the NCAA has been the nickel and dimer of forever.
But they're gone.
But I mean, like, that school
They are gone now.
Yeah. But that school that gets that player is going to go, well, why should I pay you when he wants to come to me? You know what I mean? Like, He wants us. It's not like we want him from you. That'd be a different story. Like if you are a guy that's like maybe we can add something where like when you have recruiting, maybe you can allow coaches to go to some of these. But then I don't know. It's just too much too much variables.
These lower teams, like I want them to get rewarded for having
I do
a
too,
great
but
player
that's something
that they rise up.
Right, but that's like
poached.
a give and take with like do you give a college football committee enough power to instill that, and do you trust them to not like abuse?
Maybe you have it'd be interesting to have like a portal draft, like a portal rankings and a portal draft.
Waiver wire.
A subjective,
Like if you're a guy that's taking like 15 guys, you shouldn't be allowed to take like the next.
Maybe it's all public. Maybe it's all public. Maybe it's all public. This is something that we're going to workshop. This could be a whole nother segment about the smaller school making money based off a commit because, you're right, it's subjective. And then a player can get injured or it could be situational where a really talented guy is at a lower level but he goes to a situation with a great coach where like he gets really good. Like Malik Benson played at Oregon. He's from a community college. Mm-hmm. He went to Alabama. It was a bad situation there. He was at Florida State. Guess what? Horrible situation.
Awful.
Terrible offensive coordinator. And then he went to Dan Lanning and bam, Malik Benson pops.
Yeah, but also
so the talent was always there.
Yeah.
And the development was done. So,
but be careful. What happens if we fix it and now are we going to become the new commissioners of college football? Well, I don't know.
I might be down for that. It depends how much money you pay us.
I'm starting to question a lot of these pundits, a lot of these like commissioners or athletic directors. Like, what do you do? What's your job, man? Like, you guys don't have any answers here. But we might.
Spoiler.
We might.
They might not do anything. They might not. They might be going to sleep at like 9 o'clock and not watching these games.
Oh, we know they're not watching these games.
They're not watching. Before we get into our playoffs, I'm going to just throw this at you, Serge. Who would be your Heisman guy?
I think he cemented it. He had his Heisman moment. He was the only quarterback with a 92, he was the only quarterback with over a 90 in the conference championship bowl weekend, Pro Football Focus, whatever the hell Pro Football Focus ratings mean. But it is Fernando Mendoza. He is my Heisman. Honestly, Todd McShay, and Mel Kiper just did their mock draft today, and they have Mendoza going 1. I don't know if
you don't know if he's better than like Ruben Bain or some of these other guys.
It's just such a weak class for quarterbacks this year. Like Mendoza, don't get me wrong, was really, really great. He's shown flashes, all that good stuff.
He's a pro-style passer. He's like Jared Goff to me.
Yeah, I would. But now, coming out of college, would you say Jared Goff deserves to have been as high picked as he was?
I mean, he was good at Cal. Come on. You had Kyler Murray. I mean, some first overall quarterbacks are just okay. I mean, Baker was exceptional in college. Bryce Young, was very good in college as well. I think Mendoza is a nice player. I think he'll be a pretty good NFL quarterback. I love the guy's interview, man. It's like you gave Kirk Cousins like an adrenaline needle.
Bro, shout out to Fernando Mendoza. I don't know if you'll ever get a chance to watch this, but man, you've made a fan out of me. I hope that you have tremendous success. I actually hope in Indiana, like my Texas team is out. I hope you guys win the national title. I sincerely hope that you do. I don't know if you will or not. We'll see. But I do think that, like, for the sake of the narrative, for the sake of just everything, like, it couldn't be a better guy.
I'm going to give a riff about Fernando Mendoza right now. And we can even cut this. We could cut what you just said about Nando Mendoza. Guy goes to Cal. He is a great big brother.
Great story.
And Cuban-American. Family migrated from Cuba to Miami. Raised by great parents, and just is so uplifting and positive. And some people are going to think that it's fake. Some people are going to think that it's corny. I don't. And this is a guy who listened to Curt Cignetti. He didn't even go to the Manning Passing Academy because Cignetti wanted him to stay at Indiana. And he's changed that culture. And I know that Nate Rourke was really good. I know that they were talented last year and had a very good season. But this is a different animal. And the guy, he went to Penn State and won. He went to Iowa. He went to Eugene and had big throws and big moments. So part of it is the story. Very consistent, great year of football. And congrats to Fernando Mendoza. So I believe he had a very good season. There has been Heismans that have just been probably better. Like Lamar, Johnny Football was maybe more electric. We're just talking about at the college level.
Yeah, I think that the Heisman has become for so many years just like a quarterback award, kind of like the NFL
The best quarterback.
Yeah, so I just want to formally congratulate Fernando Mendoza for winning the Heisman.
Yeah, I agree. It totally looks like Fernando. The odds have really said it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Diego Pavia. Like, I love the contrasting characters between Mendoza and Pavia. You seem like a little bit
like internally, I've always gravitated to like the Diego Pavia type of guys, like the cocky guys, gunslingers, all that stuff.
You heard that story about New Mexico State and what he did to that logo there?
Yeah, I did. And did you also hear about his stories about growing up and how like he pretty much was like lawless? He didn't even know that like there was laws. But
shout out New Mexico, man.
Yeah, Albuquerque's a different country, man.
I would almost love to live in that.
America's so big, man. Some places could be their own countries because of the contrast. But yeah, Diego Pavia is a great story. I think that in terms of like where he came from, everything like that, great story. Wish him nothing but the best. But the whole like the average fan is going to look at him, look at his body of work, and think like, oh, he backs up what he talks, right? He beat Alabama last year. Like, he's got some moments. It's not that he's not. I just, from like Todd McShay and like Mel Kiper said, the NFL has a quarterback evaluation problem. I think everybody in the world has a quarterback evaluation problem because in order to be quarterback at the highest level, it's not just, like college is so much more simplified than the NFL. I think that the situation matters the most, but I just don't think Diego Pavia is as polished a product. Like, he uses his feet a little too much, in my opinion. Whereas, like, between the two, I think that Mendoza's a little more coachable. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't say that from like his persona. It's got nothing to do with his persona, but like I just see the way they like scan the field, the way they react. Doug Cignetti's system is not an easy system to run compared to what Vanderbilt runs, which is just chuck it up.
With Coach Kill there. But I think, first of all, I like guys being great in college, and I don't care about the NFL though.
Yeah, I really don't. Pavia, shout out. You've cemented a legacy in Nashville.
Because
in the whole
Vince
state
Young, because he took Vanderbilt back. He brought Vandy back.
Yeah, shout out to you, man.
Like, who's a better college quarterback? Is it Vince Young or Justin Herbert? You know, even though Justin Herbert's a better NFL quarterback than Vince Young, it's not even close.
You don't remember those few years in Tennessee, though?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
He was pretty good.
I do.
Do you remember that playoff?
I do.
Yeah.
But who was the better college quarterback, Tim Tebow or Patrick Mahomes? Tim Tebow.
Yeah, but there's so many people, for whatever reason, that believe that game versus him and Baker Mayfield was like the best game ever played. I thought that was just no defense. I watched him play Texas. I watched Oklahoma play Texas.
The point is, I separate it when you're in college.
Yeah, but
that's the point. And like Diego Pavia, I know he isn't a good pro prospect. He's going to be a practice squad quarterback. But guess what? Stetson Bennett, legendary quarterback, legendary winner.
That was a great Georgia team. Their whole defense basically won a Super Bowl last year with the Eagles.
When he was down 13 against Ohio State, what did he do? He slung that rock.
He definitely did.
He slung that rock.
Again, with the hashes. I can get into
He wins, and I care about college football.
Yeah,
Drew Lock is a more talented player than Stetson Bennett.
That's true, but
Stetson Bennett won big games, man. I care about college football.
I agree, but in the real world, they all discredit Jalen Hurts for wins, and they say wins aren't a quarterback stat, right? It's a team stat. So are we not going to contrast that to college? I think college quarterbacks have a lot more influence on the game than they do in the NFL. But college, who you play week to week, your schedule, like there's so many variables.
If you win the national championship, if your defense is really successful, there are variables. It isn't a perfect science.
It's not. It's not
a perfect science.
It's tough, but I do want to say, like, regardless of all the hate and anything that anybody might give, or even the criticism that I give, I do want to shout out
Pavia.
Both.
Yeah, he's an under. That's why I love Pavia, because he doesn't have the most talent, and he made the most of his ability.
Oh, he definitely did.
He's not just someone who's
he's a
freak.
gamer.
He's not a freak.
He's a gamer. He's somebody that like he's not going to look the best in shorts, but he's going to.
He's not a freak.
No.
But listen, that's like Will Howard. That's like Brady. That's like a Connor Cook. Like some of these.
Yeah,
that's
and you can be successful.
That's why college is fun.
Yeah, I agree because it's almost similar to high school football, just with all the best high school football players on one team.
And I still think like you can be a Heisman and be very accomplished at the college level somehow. Like look at Anthony Richardson, all the talent in the world, and
I do too, but like it's like looking back at like the Cam Newtons of the world, the Johnny Manziels of the world, like all these other legendary quarterbacks that had college careers. Like if we really, really think about it, like Piavia, Mendoza has a chance
of being a good NFL player.
No, I'm not even talking about NFL. I'm talking about like their college careers. Like when we look at them in the totality, like they're not even in the top like 15, 20 all time.
They got Mendoza's. If he wins, if he brings a championship to Bloomington,
he has a chance to cement himself.
I agree. It is like, listen, we're going to be real on this show. So I know that we just gave them flowers. I know we gave them flowers. That's what the kids say. That's what Serge says. You probably say give them flowers as well. That term. I just think that you're totally right that this isn't like a legendary, like even college football Heisman quarterback race, like the Deshaun Watson versus Lamar Jackson. I think the level that Bo Nix versus Penix versus like Jaden Daniels. Mm-hmm. Bo Nix versus Penix was higher level quarterback.
Way higher. But I think that we're a little spoiled based on how great some of the other Heisman races were in the past.
I think Lamar's versus, and then what was it, Peyton Manning versus, was it Howard or who got that year?
Was it 99, right?
It might have been like Werfel, or it might have been Florida winning that one.
Charles Woodson, I think.
Oh, Woodson of Michigan.
I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And these are legends.
That's what I mean. Like we're over here comparing Fernando Mendoza and Diego Pavia and all the other guys.
Pavia's fun. He's friends with Theo Vaughn, but I don't see that
for what the season was. They deserve it. They deserve to be in the Heisman race, but it's Fernando's the lead.
Guess what? And Pavia never had that. Like Johnny Manziel going to Alabama, or even Johnny Manziel with like all the trouble he had, and then him putting up like huge numbers with Mike Evans. I knew that like Manziel, like looking back on it, his arm talent wasn't that good for NFL, but he was lit in college. And I think that's more my point. Like I respect guys that have an incredible college career.
I agree. And I respect the hell out of both of those guys. That's why do not take any offense to anything that we say here. It does not dictate your future. It does not dictate what you're going to be doing.
They did it. Like they did it.
Yeah, they did it. Shout out to
they
you
had
guys.
a good year. Ty Simpson was one guy. I don't know. Did they announce the finalists already?
Yeah, he's in it. The one person that did get snubbed was Texas Tech's linebacker, I want to say.
Oh, Rodriguez.
Yeah,
but Love is going there too. Right, Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame.
I mean, personally, if we're going off of like a talent thing, Jeremiah Love is the best prospect in the NFL draft, technically, overall in terms of like what he does. But just running back's not a valued position. So of the people that were there,
like
the best player is Jeremiah Love,
and also the
best
team.
Season.
The fact that Mendoza made the throw against Penn State, and the fact that they beat Ohio, that's what it also matters.
Heisman moments matter.
Mendoza.
It's Mendoza.
I know. I agree, and I love the story, and it's kind of legendary. It's great. Like even when Baker won it, like I do love the story. I'm a sucker for the story as well.
And again, it couldn't happen to a better guy. Mendoza, congrats on the Heisman. Too. It's yours. We've recorded the show before we find out who's going to win the Heisman, but I think it's already wrapped up.
So we went pretty far on that topic. We have the college football playoffs. We're going to talk about just the draw. You have some notes, Serge? Go ahead on the college football playoff. I guess should I tee you up with some games and some thoughts or what?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think about Georgia's draw? You probably have notes on the Georgia Bulldogs. What do you think about Georgia?
I mean, unfortunate, I'd say, based on that side of the bracket that they're on. It's tough. Like, but Georgia is such a powerhouse right now. Like, I really feel confident that they have a chance to win it all.
But guess what? They're playing either Ole Miss or Tulane. I think that they got the dream draw.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be playing in New Orleans.
But
I know Tulane could be right in New Orleans. That's hilarious. But
yeah,
go ahead. What?
But the look who, like, tell the fans at home who Georgia would potentially play in the second round.
Yeah, I just told you. Tulane or Ole Miss?
No, I meant after that.
You meant the third round.
Yeah,
I knew what you
that's
meant.
their.
I just tried to make you look silly.
Yeah, I know.
Sir.
That's their for.
guess what? They would play the Ohio State University or probably Texas A&M.
And that's a tough draw.
You think Ohio State?
I think that matchup-wise, Ohio State is a team just like there are a handful of teams in this that have a chance, like maybe 3 that actually have a chance of winning it all. Ooh. But, I mean, Georgia.
You know what's really rough? Just looking at this draw randomly.
I know what you're going to say.
You don't. You tried to mind read me once in this show.
Well, no, I did. Yeah, you're right. You threw me off on that whole.
This one's a very hard one because I haven't even mentioned this team or what you think I'm going to mention.
Okay.
Do you want to try to guess?
No, because, I mean, there's only 12 teams in the bracket. We've seen the bracket already.
Okay, the point is the Fiesta Bowl is going to be lit if it's Georgia and Ohio State.
That would be an amazing game, but unfortunate for Georgia to have to play a team that should have probably been the number 1 seed. If they had just finished, would you rather, if you're telling me, I mean, now looking back on it, because they lost, and you watched that Ohio State game, I really thought that Ohio State was the better team. I just thought that they just didn't execute.
But let's look at Texas Tech's draw. I would rather play Ole Miss or Tulane and pretty much be a big favorite and coast and then play Ohio State than play Oregon and Indiana.
I think that I match up better with a team like Oregon, and I think that I match up better with a team like Texas A&M if those 2 teams were to somehow win. If, obviously they're not going to be playing Oregon until later, but moral of the story is, that's an unfortunate because it's probably going to be Ohio State, and Ohio State is a really, really good team.
And do you think it's a bad matchup for it? It might be because
Ryan Day.
Because then that quarterback, you're going to have to rely on Gunnar Stockton, who is playing really good football right now.
But he's never
that's
played.
It's going to be so tough.
He's never played
defense.
I will say
it's a horrible draw.
Texas's defense. I mean, Kirby Smart. We already know the whole problem with Sark and Kirby Smart. Can't beat him. So that's a different story. But, if you were to put Ryan Day, let's say, as the head coach of that Texas team, talent-wise, that was the most talented defense that they had played up until they would probably play Ohio State. And I think that Ohio State their secondary is much better than Texas's.
Who's a sleeper in this tournament?
Honestly, this is gonna sound bad, but Oklahoma. I hate saying
what?
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. He's going to make me repeat it. Oklahoma, I hate saying it, but Brent Venables' defense can pose problems for a lot of these young quarterbacks that are in this. Mendoza, sure, but not too much game experience, playing these big games. You know what I mean? Gunnar Stockton, not the most experienced playing these big games. Julian Sayin, not the most experienced playing these big games. What really matters is that defensive coordinator going up against those quarterbacks, because even Julian Sayin all year, they were saying it was Julian Sayin's Heisman to win, right? And then he looked human against Indiana because of, again, another really, really good coach in Kurt Cignetti. And that is where the chess match is going to be. It's going to be that coach on that sideline matching up with that quarterback because, like we talked about, the problem in college sports and why it doesn't transition into NFL the best is because the difficulty it is to play the quarterback position. And when the lights are on, when we first got here, you made a comment about bright lights, right? Bright lights can shrink even the biggest man. It is so hard to play in front of 70,000 people, but 70,000 people when it's the last game of the season, possibly.
Yeah,
and it's not like
already did
and it's not like you can
but he did that in Indianapolis.
But what did it matter? What does that matter? Because what did it get you?
Big Ten championship.
Great, but do they matter?
Title.
It's great for the Indiana story, but does it matter in terms of their national championship?
I'm kind of with you, but guess why I don't think they're a sleeper? They're not going to beat. They're not going to beat Oregon or Texas Tech. Their quarterback's not good. They're not beating Oregon or Texas
He's
Tech.
Not good. But that's why.
Mateer isn't that good compared to these other guys.
But look at how Oklahoma's winning these games.
But
they're
guess
not winning
what?
These games because of the quarterback.
I love that we're already tossing Bama in the scrap heap.
We're not.
Bama can use this as a motivation. No, we're past Bama. I don't think Bama's good. I think Oklahoma's winning that game.
I think so too.
I agree with you.
I think so too. Well, they already did.
Ty Simpson's an old quarterback, but Friday Night Lights and Norman, that defense against Ty Simpson, I do agree. You could stop Indiana's running game. Indiana's receivers aren't that explosive. I think that'll be a 5-point spread.
They're kind of injured.
But guess what? I'll tell you a team I think is going to go further in this field. And that actually is going to be a team that's playing the Ohio State. I actually like A&M to really be a sleeper in this thing. I think they have so much talent on the defensive line. They have the SEC Player of the Year. You have Mike Elko. Marcel Reed is clutch in these pretty big moments.
I will say Marcel Reed does not get the fair shake. Like that game against Texas. It's in DKR.
He struggled.
It's a rivalry. Like last game of the season, there's going to be talks around. Like, did they sandbag it? Did they? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was even talks when he got hurt. They were saying, "Don't go back into the game." Right? They were saying, "Don't go back into the game because what do you gain? You're losing the game."
Marcel Reed?
Yeah. Remember when he got hurt? There was a narrative around.
Oh, see, that's what I hate.
I hate that too. But
compete.
Right, but did it even serve them anything? Because all it did was make Texas look better. Not that it mattered.
I'm ready for this promo. You know who I think is overrated? You know who I think is gettable in these playoffs is Julian Sayin at quarterback. And you saw Indiana put Julian Sayin in a blender. He's smaller. He's an accurate quarterback. He's pretty dang good for a redshirt sophomore, but he doesn't have that powerhouse athletic ability or, like arm strength.
And you want to hear this one? He's got like 50 total yards rushing all season. He is I couldn't believe it. When I first saw him coming in, I thought he was going to have some form of run game dimension, but yeah.
I like A&M, and I think Carson Beck's going to be seeing ghost in College Station, Texas.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why Miami's even in.
They do have talent defensively. It will be a fun matchup, A&M versus Miami, but I think that we're rolling with A&M. These second-round matchups are really going to be fun.
Yeah.
Texas Tech, Oregon.
Indiana.
I think Texas Tech can maybe be the surprise. I will go with will you take Ohio State or the field in this tournament?
The field. Probably, just only because of the numbers. I probably will always take the field over one team, unless Ohio State had beaten Indiana. Then we would be talking.
So I like Oregon. I like Oregon's draw. I think Texas Tech. I think that game will be a war in Miami. I think Texas Tech's defense is tremendous if Baron Morton stays healthy. So I think Indiana. It's going to be very hard for Indiana to make the championship.
And it's going to be even harder because they just lost their star defensive lineman. Did you see the video? He was going around high-fiving the fans, and he tore his ACL.
While he was celebrating?
Yeah, and literally it was just simple as he jumped up, slipped. And then you just see him hobble the whole time, and then it was just he's out for the season.
Yeah, and you can't. He could have done that in his home. That's really brutal.
Yeah, but when has an Indiana fan base ever got that? It's just so unfortunate.
But I think Indiana is just living in their glory right now.
Maybe they have a real chance. But now you lose arguably your best defensive lineman. That sucks.
I believe that them winning the Big Ten championship was
a
pinnacle for Indiana football.
For sure, but now it's
just gravy. And if they go to the Rose Bowl, and even if they lose to Oklahoma in a classic, but the fact that they went undefeated and beat Ohio State, it is amazing. I think for Ohio State, they're looking at it winning a ring. I think Oregon has huge expectations as well. That could be a rematch to Indiana versus Oregon. What I was going to say, the mind reader part before we kind of wrap up college football, is Oregon has to go. I'll tell you what Oregon has to do. Well, they have a home game, but then they're going to Miami if they win that game. And then guess where they're going after that? They're going to Atlanta. They're going Miami, Atlanta, back to Miami. The Flyer Miles, they're going to have to...
That's assuming they make it.
They're going to have to figure out a way. Well, I'm already penciling them in as national champs. Dan Lanning, Oregon.
Dan, you might want to send this guy some gear over here.
Sharpie.
That's insane to
Sharpie.
Say. Oregon is not built for this. All
right, let's go. Come on, feed it. Feed the beast. Let's go. Why can't they do it?
Because they could barely get by USC. USC was begging them to, actually, they were begging USC to win that game. They were literally begging USC to win that game. So they can't stop a nosebleed. All their wide receivers, granted, USC has elite wide receivers. They have 2 elite wide receivers. So they're different. Not everybody has the Mekhi Lemons of the world, the Lanes of the world. But,
exactly.
I just don't see them
They're tough. They're a connected team. You're probably going to get Evan Stewart coming back. You're going to get DeCorian Moore, the number 1 receiver out of the state of Texas.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be
running
much
back crew is
healthier
great.
than they were.
Dante Moore is going to be really fired up. I mean, he's one of the best players in the country. He's a first-round quarterback. Do you not think he's going to be a first-round quarterback?
I don't think so because there's
look at the mocks.
But
you could say it's a bad year.
The
but
mocks also look. Not to say this. Do not get mad at me, people. But the mocks also had Shedeur Sanders top 10.
I'm going to get mad at you over Ole Miss.
The mocks also had Shedeur Sanders top 10. Now, whether he deserved it or
gone
didn't,
in the first round.
I think he should have too.
The interviews. That was a free for all.
Yeah, I mean that was ridiculous.
That was fun as hell.
Listen, the reality of who teams are going to draft is so sporadic, and now teams have even less time to draft. So the reason why I'll say is because this is not how many quarterbacks are going to be taken in the first round?
I like Ty. I think Moore can be okay.
How many
Ty
teams even
Simpson
need
has
a
a really high
in the
ranking.
first round?
I know. That's a conversation for another day. Guys, you are watching the Spence and Serge Show. NFL segment. Serge and Spence, we are back. Spence and Serge, that is. We are back. We are talking about NFL football here. Final segment, and again, we have a lot of interesting segments on the horizon. We're going to be doing some film reviews, so you guys better check out the Spence and Serge Show because we have lots and lots of NFL film that we're going to be breaking down, Serge.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss this, especially this is going to be kid-friendly as well, some of this film. I'll just let you know that.
A little surprise.
But yeah, so the NFL playoff picture is starting to come to fruition. A lot of teams have some crazy scenarios. Like, can you believe the Detroit Lions have almost an even percentage to finish 1 through 7 in the NFC? Either one of the 7 spots.
1 or 7? Or do you think they're going to get in the playoffs
1, 2, 3,
at all?
4, 5.
Do you think Dan Campbell can dial up plays, or are they missing the Ben Johnson?
I think that they are missing Ben Johnson, but at the same time, they have a tough schedule coming up. So, but the playoff odds for them, it just so happens to be that they are almost dead even to come in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or
They
seventh.
go to LA this week.
Yeah,
they go to LA. So the NFC is going to be pretty fun. Believe it or not, wow.
Yeah, you're going to be surprised.
Well, right now I'm floored because the odds have really shifted even since Sunday. The odds have shifted a lot.
Well,
the Seattle Seahawks, my team. I guess they're kind of my team because I like Sam Darnold. I think Seattle can win the whole thing. I'll say it right now.
I do not. I like their coach. I do not. First off, we're giving Jalen Hurts all this crap for his performance. Sam Darnold just had the exact same performance not too long ago.
When? Against what team? The Vikings or against
the Rams? 4
the Rams?
interceptions.
He did.
Not a peep. Not a peep.
Well, there
from
was
the pundits.
but the public. That's why he didn't get signed for Minnesota. I mean, no one believes in Sam Darnold.
So that's like saying, oh, Matthew Stafford's a number 1 overall pick. He's only won 1 Super Bowl and only made it with a super team. Like, we can't just sit here and make these excuses for these quarterbacks. And that's why I don't think that the Seahawks are going to make it too far. I really do not.
Okay. So you are an Eagles fan. Do you think the Eagles have a chance?
No.
Okay.
I do not.
You don't
not to win the Super Bowl only because
to win the conference title either.
No. I think that we'll be lucky to get in the playoffs because we are on a skid right now, and it's not like a skid that nobody saw coming. Like, sure, we won some big games early in the season, but once enough tape is on you, like, it's a brand new offensive coordinator. He still needed to get all of his junk that he had on film out there for people to see, and it was just a matter of time before pattern. Like, I bet you any coach could have just watched a half and been like, I bet you they're going to run the exact same plays in the second half. And sure enough, they run the exact same plays in the second half of every single game for the whole year.
It's incredible. It's like robotic.
I don't understand it. And I'm not trying to be like a clickbait guy. I know it's like really fun to pile on Kevin Patullo, but I'll leave you with this statistic, okay? In the history of the NFL, since we have tracked stats, no team in the NFL has ever been a 21% hitch route rate. The Eagles are at over 23% hitch route rate, which is the highest of all time. You are running 3 yards and standing there? What offense is that? This isn't college. You can't do that. You can't just hope that, this guy's going to just make a play. Like, these guys get paid too on the other side. Like, a lot of people are giving so much crap for, like, the performance that the Eagles had. Like, deflection, intercept. But the other team's getting paid too. A lot of, like, everybody had before the season, like, Harbaugh, Justin Herbert. Like, everybody loves Justin Herbert.
I think Jahan Dotson's running the most hitches in the NFL.
I don't even know why he's on the field sometimes because we don't even need 3 wide receivers.
It's so easy to cover hitches. I mean, I don't know if they're afraid about accuracy or they are afraid of the middle of the field, though. They don't want Jalen Hurts to throw interception.
I mean, but before the past couple games, he wasn't throwing interceptions. Whether it was throwing in the middle field or not, this guy was on a historic rate.
I like them opening it up.
But that interception streak that he had led from last season into this season. He went all postseason. He's the only NFL quarterback did not throw.
But I think Kellen Moore still had it tailor-made.
Yeah, but then you go from Kellen Moore to this guy, and
I still think Kellen protected Jalen Hurts.
Okay, that's your opinion, but
yes.
To be real, like what won us games or what everybody remembers is the deep balls, and Jalen Hurts ranked number 1 in the league last year in deep ball accuracy. He still is up there in the league in deep ball accuracy this year too. Shocker, I know, for those of you like armchair coaches at home. But, like, that's not just a Kellen Moore thing. Like, you got to call certain plays based on coverages. Like, sue Kellen Moore for being a good coach. Like, isn't that what we want a coach to be? A coach that schemes to the team and the players' strengths? Like, am I, like, in the upside down world over here thinking about, like,
maybe
watching Kevin Patullo scheme a scheme that just doesn't... Do we have, like...
professional.
But are our players these, like, amazing speedsters that are going to catch a screen and go to the house? Like, and are we great blockers? Like, no. I just don't understand the concept. You also have first off, let me frame it this way. You have the reigning offensive player of the year, and your whole offense isn't built around him. Yeah, you have the Super Bowl MVP. Nobody would, like, take it away from you if you were like, you know what, we're just going to throw the ball every game. But you're not even doing that. You're running the ball on second, third down. You're running a draw on third down most of the time.
You're taking the ability away from Saquon Barkley? Is that what?
No, like when you're running versus when you're not, like tendencies. Teams pick up on your tendencies. One's a good down and distance. Analytics run the sport, right?
Yes.
Right? So if the analytics show that you're running more hitch routes than everybody else, you have the lowest yak yardage of anybody else in the NFL, you're averaging 3 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Why are you, like, keep beating a dead horse? You keep trying things that aren't working. And what's crazy is you would think that this stuff would evolve later on in the season, but it's not. Like, you're not getting changes.
All right. Final question.
Yeah.
We'll get you away from the Eagles stuff because I don't want you breaking.
Please.
I don't want you breaking glass.
Explode.
You're going to break all the property in this apartment.
It's insane
complex.
to me. They get me so frustrated.
What quarterback is making the NFC? What quarterback is going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl then? If it's not the Philadelphia Eagles, is it Matt Stafford? Is it Jordan Love? Is it Brock Purdy?
I'm going to be honest. Whoever comes out of the NFC is probably not winning the Super Bowl.
Well, come on. You got to pick one.
If I had one, Matthew Stafford. I think the Rams are probably going to be in the NFC Championship game. But there is a dark horse possibility that maybe the Eagles were just sandbagging this stuff, because I will leave, whether we've done this segment or not, the last thing that I want to get out is that there is this, like, underground theory going on right now that the Eagles had a chance, if they just won on Black Friday, to wrap up the NFC East. Do you know what premiered on Black Friday?
Movie?
Kinda. The NFL Prime
The Nightmare on Elm Street?
The Hard Knocks, NFC East. Where is the storyline if the Eagles already have wrapped up by episode 1? There's none. Now, I'm not this big conspiracy guy, but, like, in the big 2025, we have had
HBO running the NFL.
We have had a lot of people come out about sports gambling this year alone. Mafia, that.
The Dallas Cowboys could go on a run, though.
But, again, it feeds back into, like, that's exactly what happened in 2023. Exactly what's happening.
The Hard Knocks?
Yeah. Well, no, not the Hard Knocks, but, like, we went on this collapse. The Cowboys won the division. We're in a collapse right now. Cowboys have a chance to win the division. Eagles were a bigger than 7-point favorite against the Arizona Cardinals. We lost that game.
Kyler Murray to Michael Wilson.
Yep. And then this year, we are the same exact point favorite against the Raiders.
I am ready for Seattle to just take out the Eagles.
And we have a Philly quarterback versus Philly quarterback game. Eagles versus Raiders. God, like...
Geno Smith?
Flex that. No,
What do you
it's
mean?
Kenny
What are you
Pickett's going to
talking
be
about?
starting that
Oh, yeah, Kenny. Oh, Kenny.
Philly Kenny, Super Bowl kneel down.
Kenny two gloves.
He's got more snaps in the Super Bowl than Dak Prescott, by the way.
Prescott.
Come at me in the comments.
Listen, I really think that the Seattle Seahawks have a great defense. Okay, the Rams are a very good football team. The Packers have a great defense. These are better defenses than the Eagles are. I mean, the Eagles
they're
have
not better defense than the Eagles. Let's stop.
The Eagles have. Listen, the Eagles
if their
defense,
offense was competent,
first of all, you know what happened?
So
Chicago Bears ran the football down the Eagles' throat.
But also, what also happened? Turnovers, bad play calling, drives stalling out. We scored no points. If our defense is on the field all game and it's one of those grind out games because that's the way that they play.
The great news is that you are going to be playing. If you are the 4 seed, you're going to be playing either the Rams or the Seahawks.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy? Right now we're the 3 seed. We have a chance.
It's going to be the Josh McCown game. That's what it's looking like. A home game, a division matchup. But we'll talk about the AFC soon. You guys have been watching the Spence and Serge show. Thank you all for watching.